Yeah, Steve, I think that's probably fairly accurate. I mean, I think at 22-17 down to 14, we were probably looking at possibly getting nothing out of the game. So the way we fought back, as you suggest, I think we're the only team Leinster haven't beaten since they lost to the Bulls here this time last year. I was very, very disappointed with our start to the second half. We had a plan at halftime because, I don't know how much you could see on TV. The conditions were really, really, really tough. It was Galway, that wind and the rain, and it was tough. And I just thought we were very poor kicking contestables into the wind. We kicked the first three, two ended up in tries, and one ended up in a 22 entry. So disappointed tactically how we played in the second half. But I think, I don't know what it looked like on TV. It was a game of real, real intensity. Those defenses, two quality teams going at each other. So, yeah, very much mixed feelings. I think at the end, we probably forced an offload. We should probably just kept it go a few phases and hopefully got a penalty. We could have got the win. But we were under the pump for large parts of the start of that second half.
You must be very pleased, though, with the character. You guys really looked as if you could go be, after their fourth try, you might be put away. But then somehow, again, that character came through that's just has done on a few occasions this season again.
That's the best thing about this team. I actually thought we, as I said, 14 men, they had scored their fourth try. That this was us, and I mean the wind. It was insane. We couldn't, we were trapped, and that character was brilliant. And at the end, as I said, I felt like maybe we should hang on to that ball and get through a few phases, and maybe we would have got a penalty out of a go pass. So yeah, look, I think a draw was a reasonably fair result, but I'm just disappointed the way we didn't adapt, didn't go the way we played into the wind was poor.
Yes, Dobbo.
Thanks, Steve.
Dobbo, but there's the points that you needed, you got out of that game. It gives you a bit of breathing room between you and the boys trying to catch up to you.
Yeah, look, I think from Ulster point of view, Ulster chasing us and points difference, those 2 points are extremely useful. So that point of view. I think for us mentally, people say, obviously Leinster resting their internationals. They had more internationals on the field today and 2.5 times the amount of URC caps than we've got. So for us to come here and do that was a great experience for us in preparation for next week, which probably was the first objective. And I think, and those points are, because we now asked to play the Bulls tomorrow, but at the moment we're 7th here. But even if they beat the Bull, we've got to, it gives us a bit of breathing space in terms of trying to hang on to second spot. I think Leinster got 3 points out of tonight's game, so they've secured first place, and now we just got to try and hang on to second. But I think for our morale and our getting used to those conditions tonight was really important. It's a reasonably happy change room. A little bit of shit, we could have done a bit more, but a reasonably happy change room.
Robert, how can you prepare for that even? Just the conditions. I mean, Cape Town's flipping windy. But geez, I mean, conditions like that up there. I mean, what can you actually do in the week, especially when you in South Africa and then you go over there and you're not quite sure what to expect, and then you get there and that's what you're greeted with. What can you actually do to prepare for that?
I was supposed to train at UCT. Lloyd, it was tricky because the whole week the weather's actually been fine. It was just, I don't know. I literally, I mean this benignly. I mean, I don't know if you could see on TV, it was horizontal rain coming through. It was just, an insanity. So, we obviously these guys by being here get used to it more. We still had a message at halftime, which we didn't apply, which was frustrating. We had to keep the ball in the second half. How we got back into the game was, take the ball in hand, get a penalty, maul, and that's how we wanted to play the whole half. But we're going to have to say, if we want to be at the top table of URC rugby, we have to win or do well in the Northern Hemisphere. And I don't think it's probably more of a step forward than a backward one today to come and get a draw against Leinster. They were really tough conditions.
Yeah.
Dobbo, you sound a bit fluey. Hope you're well.
Thanks, Liam.
Apart from the log points, what can you take out of this game by way of reference points for engagement, or an engagement maybe further down the line this season?
Yeah, look, the first task was to get us battle hardened and ready for Harlequins, which is a knockout game next week. So that was fine. And what I liked about tonight was we had a plan, because you know about Leinster and their phase attack, so we wanted real line speed, and we wanted to make every breakdown a sort of legal contest. And I thought we were really excellent there. Our line speed, I mean, you know, teams I think are going to struggle. You know, we were probably fast off the line and more competitive at the breakdown than we've been the whole season. Yes, we didn't get steals, but they're very hard to get against the Irish national team, against Leinster. So that was defensively superb. Yeah, I can't read, because of the conditions, I can't read too much more into it. And then I thought there were one or two really, really good individual performances in those conditions, but much more to read into it. Yeah, sorry, Liam, I should have said. I wish Hachiva thought it's, you know, look, I know it was a turnover try, but Hachiva thought he'd beaten Reese Ruddock to go and score, and he didn't see the bloke. And if he got over there 26-7, I think we could have probably got ourselves home. But that's just good luck or bad luck.
Thanks.
Robert, just finally for me, having the box back, just the energy. Obviously, you would have had it in the week, but just on the field when you see it, I mean, are those guys just very energized given the time they've had off? I mean, is it immediately noticeable on the field what they bring?
Yeah, training wise, look, on the field, I think they'd all say it was a return to action to the game, you know. But I think I thought they all were really good as defensively. You know, they tackled. I think Marvin ran a really good line out in terrible conditions. Get slightly irritated. People say we lose a lineup before halftime because of Joseph Dwyer, but it was Ruben van Heerden misheard the call and didn't support Marvin. You know, but Joseph will get the blame for that. But for the rest, I thought they I think they probably exceeded expectations. They're bringing a massive amount of training, but they'll be 20 or 30% better next week. I've got no doubt. I mean, I mean, it wasn't. I don't know if you saw it on TV, but from speaking to the local guys here, they felt that was a really high level, intense game of rugby. So that they got through it really so well was good.
Dobbo, how's it? Just on, obviously the conditions, as you say, were very bad out there. Just on that, they overshadowed you guys with tactical kicking, especially in that second half, with the wind behind them. Did you guys? I mean, obviously those are some lessons you're going to have to take out for a possible rematch in future.
Yeah, Brendan, I thought we were really poor in that area. You know, I'm not sure the value of kicking. You know, we had the ball go through 3 or 4 phases, then set up the contestable into the wind. And if you remember when they played into the wind, they never did it. They didn't kick a contestable, did they? They kicked these little sliders and everything behind us. And I said the first 3 contestables we kicked in the second half, 2 tries and 1 to them, and another 22 entry, which is when we turned over with Kitsy. So. Yeah, we're going to have to be much sharper there. It was really disappointing because I think if we got that right, we could have actually won the game. So a big takeaway for us.
Robert, what's the medical report? Injury-wise?
No, I think a lot of guys were sick in the week, but they're fine. And France got a bit of a sting on his shoulder, and I really hope that's okay. He's probably the only guy of any concern, but nothing to go through a game of that sort of attrition with no injuries is great. So I think we're all clear. Just France was sick his shoulder out.
Just on the game and what this type of prep would mean for the guys looking ahead at Harlequins.
Yeah, look, the main thing was as a team to get together again. We didn't play the guys, as you know, for the first 2 rounds of the Currie Cup. So even Joseph Dwyer was a little bit rusty, for example. Even the Springboks had been with us. So always get battle harder and try and get some combinations going, and as the cliches go. So that was our main job in this game was, we had it quite clearly worked out. First job was to get ready for Harlequins as a team, battle hardened. Second thing was to learn more about these conditions, which we probably weren't our best. Probably didn't get it wasn't up what we wanted to get out of the game. The third job was to try and pick up a point. I mean, that's what we said in the team. We got 2 points and a draw. And the first team, Leinster, haven't beaten in almost, close to 9 or 10 months. It's not a bad achievement. So that's what we wanted to get out of the game. Most importantly was to make sure that we're ready for Harlequins next week. And it looks like I think we're going to be.
And just what do you expect Harlequins will bring? It's not like you face them yearly. From matches you've seen, what do you think?
We've done quite a bit of work on them. It's going to be a great spectacle. In our conditions with their style of rugby. I mean, Danny Kerr and Marcus Smith play. They get that. Marchant. I'm going to forget the name of that one centre who's playing so well now. Andre Estesen gets them go forward, and then they've got real skill with those two halfbacks, and they play a great attractive brand of rugby. So. We're going to have to do like we did tonight, slow some ball down. We're going to have to stop Andre Estesen, and we're going to have to, it's in a funny way, it's a bit like playing the South African Sharks of a while ago, where they got a great ball carrier at 12 that gets the momentum and some real X factor. Like Grant Williams plays like Danny Kerr or whatever the story. So, but they do play a superb style of rugby, and it should be a really, really good occasion with hopefully 50,000 people in the DHL stadium.
And you're gonna just have to take the words away and duidelik out of the line-out calls, eh?
Can you hear it?
Learning them this week.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, you're right. Herbst, two good English Harlequins locks in Erne Herbst and Stefan Levis. Yeah. Okalo.
Cheers, thanks, Dobbo.
Thanks.